Dear National Interest, please tell us, if a 19-year-old girl posts a poem on Instagram, are you really so threatened that you have to arrest her and stop her from taking her exams? This is not my imagination, but this is an actual case that had to be heard by the Bombay High Court. A 19-year-old engineering student was arrested and barred from taking her exams because of a poem that she had reshared on her Instagram account. Will stopping a student from taking her exams ensure that national interest is safe and secure? The allegation against her is that her post has caused tension between two groups and is likely to disturb the public peace and war between Bharat and Pakistan. These are the words that I've lifted from a complaint. Can an engineering student really cause war between two nations? Is this even possible? When we post something on our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, whatever our social media preference be, do we foresee the possibility of it attracting a lawsuit? Do we predict that this may land us in jail? Imagine if that were the case, which it actually is. But if imagine we were thinking of that all the time, would we be able to write anything ever? Would we be able to express ourselves anywhere, in any form or manner? If the possibility and fear of jail hung over our shoulders all the time, would we ever be free? The curious thing about censorship and censoring someone is not that it just censors them, but it has a chilling effect on everyone else. It spreads far beyond the scope of the individual who is being actively censored. When you jail someone who holds a position of social and political or public importance, you impact everyone else. You never just censor one person, you censor the whole society. On the other hand, when someone's right to free speech is restored, it strengthens the trust of thousands of people in the span of one court hearing. So there are two cases that have been heard by two courts of the country in the last few weeks, and both pertain to members of educational institutions who took to social media and expressed an opinion that was deemed so dangerous to national interest that the writers of the post had to be arrested. One of them is the case of the 19-year-old engineering student that I just mentioned, and the other is the case of Professor Ali Khan Mahmoodabad. Now, what the court has said in the student's matter is crucial, and I believe it should be heard by everyone. The bench of Justice Gauri Godse, and Somshekhar Sundaran has explicitly questioned the conduct of the state police in this matter. The court has said that the conduct of the state is radical and has asked why the student was treated as a criminal. Imagine a simple Facebook post, a simple Instagram post can turn you into a criminal overnight because the police decides to. Is this how state governments are functioning? That their conduct should be questioned by courts? Is this the threat that they perceive from regular, ordinary citizens of the country writing something on Instagram? Justice Gauri Godse came down heavily against the state's actions and raised the most commonsensical question actually. Question that nobody in the entire police department thought of. She asked, does the state want to ruin the life of a student? And I'm quoting her now. She asks the police, the counsel appearing for the state, somebody expresses something and you want to ruin the life of the student. How can you rusticate her? Imagine she was chucked out of a college. Did you call upon an explanation? What is the purpose of an educational institution? Is it only to educate academically? You need to reform a student or make a student into a criminal. We understand that you want to take some action, but you cannot refrain her from taking her exams. Let her appear for the remaining 3 papers. She was made to miss 2 exams over an Instagram post. She was removed from her educational institution. Right? This is the kind of action. This is how a state government, a state police is functioning. By locking up a student behind bars over a mere post, by stopping her from taking her exam even after she apologized and took down her post. The FIR was filed against her after she deleted her post. Imagine. The student is now preparing for her exams in jail and she has already missed two. When the state council suggested that she can take the exams in police presence. Imagine you write in an Instagram post and the police is suggesting that constables of the police department will accompany you to the examination hall. When this was suggested by the council, by the lawyer appearing for the state, the court again had to contradict them. And I'll again quote the judge. Justice Gauri Godse says, "What is this, Mr. Kakre, who is the state lawyer? She isn't a criminal. She cannot be asked to appear with police around her. She has to be released. She cannot be stopped from appearing in exams. She cannot be asked to appear with police around her." There is no concept of the dignity of an individual. This is the ease with which the state, the police can choose to interfere with the dignity of an individual who has done nothing wrong, who has just merely written a post on Instagram. When the lawyer informed the court that we are investigating the matter and examining her mobile and laptop, Justice Gauri Godse said that this is absolutely shocking. It appears like police officers are bent upon ruining her life and equally her college. So, is the state piggybacking on the nebulous idea of national security to ruin the lives of common citizens of the country? What can possibly be the purpose of such action but to silence people into becoming sheep who don't think, who don't question, who don't see anything critically, who don't have an open, independent opinion? When the court said that it will direct the student to be released from jail, the state council said that some discipline needs to be followed. At this, Justice Godse had to say, who is stopping you from this? First, inculcate some discipline in the institute and then in the students. Practice what you preach. The court granted her bail, suspended her rustication, urged that she be allowed to take her exams on the guarantee that she will be given police protection. She has been asked to not leave the jurisdiction of Maharashtra without taking leave of the court, but the court has directed that she will not be called to appear before the police during her exams. This is how the court has to intervene to protect the rights of a common citizen, because the police has created this reputation for itself that it will leave no stone unturned in damaging the dignity of a citizen, in harassing her over something that has been taken down, over a post that has been deleted, over an apology that has been accepted. But compare this to what transpired in the case of Professor Ali Khan Mahmoodabad. He was granted bail a few days after his arrest, but the conditions set on him have prompted some experts to say that the bail itself has laid the groundwork for further oppression. Firstly, the arrest in itself was highly debated, was questioned. What was there so outrageous in his Facebook post that he had to be arrested in the way that he was? And then, to make matters worse, the court has specified that the bail has been granted only so that he can assist in the investigation against himself. An SIT with 3 IPS officers of IG rank has been constituted against him to understand what the contents of his post are. Imagine, nobody understand what a 498-word Facebook post said. 3 learned judges, thousands of people on social media, the police itself, none of them could find what the problematic portion was. And this is how he's been arrested. This is how his rights have been curtailed. His passport has been seized and a gag order has been put on him, barring him from writing about the ongoing tensions between India and Pakistan. While granting him bail, Justice Suryakant has said that his post contains a possible dog whistle, meaning that it contains a secret message, it contains a hint to do something, and it targets a certain group of people to act out in certain ways. But there was no clarity on what was the dog whistle in his post. In the court order, there was nothing which specified what exactly was so scandalous. Justice Suryakant is also learned to have sternly warned academics and students who are supporting the professor by saying that we know how to handle them as well. Justice Saurav Das says that Justice Kant echoed the coercive language of state power in saying so. Do such statements inspire confidence in the minds of those who look to the court for the protection of their civil liberties? When we look for protection against the coercive power of state, what confidence does the court inspire by repeating similar language? Pratap Bhanu Mehta has said that the way in which the case has been dealt with casts a shadow on our rights, that it sends a chill down one's spine, and it probably is not an exaggeration. There is the example of a court which has taken a state police to task over a case which was founded on the most flimsy remarks. And there is a case where an SIT has been constituted over a 498 word long post. So, dear national interest, please tell us what will make you feel safe and secure. This is Vrinda.